Did you feel like you would have more of a reason why?
I think it's what you're always wanting. You're always wanting to give the families the why.
Yeah.
But we don't always get that.
Tonight, with a gag order lifted, we're hearing for the first time from the Moscow police chief who played a key role in the investigation that led to Bryan Kohberger's conviction.
Connecting neighborhoods across the Treasure and Magic Valleys, telling stories from within our communities. This is Idaho News 6.
Thanks for joining Idaho News 6. I'm senior reporter Don Nelson. Tonight, Bryan Kohberger is incarcerated in Idaho's maximum security institution. It's where he'll spend the rest of his life after admitting to the brutal murder of 4 University of Idaho students. After 2.5 years of waiting, friends and family of the victims spent hours pouring out their grief, anger, and even compassion at Kohberger's sentencing hearing on Wednesday. In just a moment, we'll hear more from the 2 surviving roommates. But first, the former Moscow chief of police opening up about the early days of the investigation. ABC's Kana Whitworth was first to sit down with Chief James Fry. Here's what we learned. The man who was the face of the University of Idaho murder case at first, Moscow Police Chief James Fry, sat down with ABC's Kana Whitworth to discuss the closure of the Kohberger murder investigation.
You believe he is less than human?
I'm not saying he's less than human, but like I say, he's very cold. Very cold. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do what he did.
Chief Fry defended his department when people called them podunk or the Keystone Cops. Fry said they did everything right, asking for help from the state and federal level.
For 7 weeks, we just focused. And that doesn't always happen. No pride, no fights, local, state, federal law enforcement coming together. That doesn't always happen, and it did on this one.
Chief Fry said he agreed with the plea deal and said he believes more information will come out through released documents. Whitworth asked if the knife sheath wasn't recovered at the murder scene, would authorities still have tracked Kohberger down?
We talked about the car. Because we had collected so much video, and it's a different world out there now. People are tracked by cameras, they're tracked by their phones. So, as Detective Payne, I think, said today, it might have been a week, might have been 2 weeks, might have been a month, might have been 6 months, but we weren't going to stop looking.
Chief Fry has since moved on to a new role with the West Richland Police Department in Washington.
New today, Bryan Kohberger is now officially in the custody of the Idaho Department of Correction with this new mugshot. And late Wednesday, hundreds of pages of police reports and investigative documents were unsealed, giving the most detailed look yet into the case that gripped the nation. I'm neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker, and I have reviewed all 314 documents, and what they reveal is chilling. The newly unsealed files expose disturbing behavior and unsettling witness tips surrounding Bryan Kohberger before and after the murders. A stripper in Washington told the FBI she felt stalked by someone she thinks is Kohberger, who asked personal questions, knew she had ties to the University of Idaho, and seemed fixated on the neighborhood where the killings occurred. A Tinder date told police he asked her, "What's the worst way to die? Like a K-bar?" The same type of knife police determined was used in the crime. And when he spent time in the Ladell County Jail, inmates described him as robotic, obsessively clean, and often awake at night. One said Kohberger told him he was going to beat this case. And a former WSU student recognized herself in photos reportedly pulled from his phone, taken from her public Instagram. Kohberger was her TA at the University of Washington. Police reports also include a tip from a real estate agent that Kohberger and his father were seen near the crime scene 5 months before the murder, but the FBI couldn't verify it. And the crime scene details even more haunting. Kaylee Gonzalez suffered 34 stab wounds, her face unrecognizable. Xana Kernodle had more than 50 stab wounds. Defensive injuries were found on Xana and Ethan Chapin, and the knife sheath was discovered in bed next to Maddie Mogan.
All the evidence shows and tells us that he used a knife, a K-bar knife, and that's a weapon we believe was used to commit all the murders.
Investigators uncovered Kohberger's digital footprint, filing warrants for Tinder, TikTok, Meta, Amazon, Dropbox, and more. But officials say it was effectively wiped.
There was evidence that he had used software to wipe many of his devices relatively effectively, so there wasn't much evidence obtained after that.
Despite the scope of evidence, investigators say they never found a known connection between Koberger and the victims. He'll serve life in prison, never eligible for parole, and we'll know more about Koberger's prison accommodations in the coming weeks. But the Idaho Department of Correction tells me right now he's going through the standard reception and diagnostic unit process, a 7 to 14-day evaluation that determines his classification, housing placement, and privileges. You can find more information on the police reports and what happened in court on Wednesday in this story on IdahoNews6.com. I'm neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker, Idaho News 6.
This is a story we've been following for you from the very beginning, and we'll continue to track new developments to bring you the very latest. You can always find our complete coverage on IdahoNews6.com. And join us this Friday night at 10 for a special newscast. Executive reporter Karen Lair will be taking you on a deeper dive into the key evidence in the case of Bryan Koberger.
50-year-old Jeremy Best, the man who admitted to killing his wife, unborn child, and 10-month-old son in 2023, was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole at a hearing in Tenton County today. You may remember Best was the suspect in a December 2023 Amber Alert involving his son Zeke. Investigators said Best took Zeke after he murdered his pregnant wife. One day after the Amber Alert was issued, hunters in Bonneville County found Best in a sleeping bag on the side of the road and alerted authorities. 18 witnesses testified before the sentences were handed down.
A high-stakes meeting today in Tallahassee, Florida.
Do you have anything to say today?
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche walking into the U.S. Attorney's office to speak with Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's convicted co-conspirator. Blanche is President Trump's former criminal defense attorney and says he wants to know if Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence and has been trying to get out on appeal ever since. Her attorney today.
We're looking forward to a productive day.
The Wall Street Journal reports Blanche and Attorney General Pam Bondi informed President Trump back in May his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files. The Journal reports other high-profile names are also in the Epstein files, but appearing in them is not a sign of wrongdoing. ABC's Catherine Falders questioning the president last week.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
She's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen.
Bondi now says nothing in the files warranted further investigation or prosecution, adding, as part of our routine briefing, we made the president aware of the findings.
The fact that he was informed and the decision was made to refuse to release the files smacks of a cover-up.
On Capitol Hill, as more Republicans call for the Epstein files to be released.
Just put everything out, make it as transparent as you can.
Republican Congressman James Comer leading the charge for the House Oversight Committee, issuing a subpoena to depose Maxwell and plans to subpoena the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files.
We're not doing that for any political reasons. When we go home and listen to our constituents, they're very interested in the Epstein files.
The meeting today lasting 6 hours. Maxwell's attorney says she answered all of the questions and answered them honestly. He did not say if there would be another meeting. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The Antique and Classic Boat Society is gearing up for a show in McCall.
Those summer-like conditions we've truly been waiting for have returned, but some of the warmest that's going to be set for next week. We'll talk about very hot on the way and even further going into August. Stay tuned, my forecast will explain.
Idaho Back Roads, brought to you by Treasure Valley Subaru.
The Antique and Classic Boat Society is hosting a show in McCall on the first weekend of August. I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter, Steve Denton. I'll introduce you to 2 locals here in the Treasure Valley, and I'll show you their boats and why they're so passionate about this show. Bill Cole has a 1947 Chris Craft rocket named Rocket Song. It's one of only 1,000 ever made, featuring a hull made out of cedar and a deck with 2 different types of African mahogany.
When I first brought it home, my wife said, "What did you do?" And then I took her for a ride in it, and now I can't keep her out of it. So It's just a lot of fun just to run around. And they all sound really, really good.
Jeffrey Hendricks has a 1940 crisscross 16-foot special race boat. Only 167 of these were ever made. Jeffrey refurbished it with 90% new wood and finished it in January to earn its name.
A long time. That's one of the reasons for the name. The name is about time.
On Friday, August 1st and 2nd, the Payette Lakes chapter of the Antique and Classic Boat Society will host their annual Classic Wooden Boat Show in McCall.
Saturday's the big day. That's when everybody's in the water and everything's happening. We do a little boat parade.
I'll have more information on the club and the event on our website. I'm your Idaho Backroads neighborhood reporter Steve Dent for Idaho News 6.
Now, Isaiah Sharp with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
I'd say that'd be a pretty cool way to spend your Saturday, taking a look at those phenomenal pieces of art. 82 degrees currently, light winds on top of that as well. Beautiful skies. Unfortunately, we are getting to the tail end of July and heading into August. The sky's not going to be as beautiful as what we saw earlier this month or in the month of June. It's just going to end up getting darker and darker, but you can still see a little bit of color off into the background. Temperatures today sitting into those 90s for some parts, a little bit warmer. Caldwell sitting at 96. Jordan Valley got there too, and Ontario 96 as well. 94 over in Boise, few 80s into those mountain ranges. These are some pretty normal summer-like conditions. We were treated to some much cooler temperatures earlier this week, but it feels as though the conditions are kind of returning to a very consistent basis, what we usually see per this time of year. Over our friends to the east, they're seeing some pretty impressive temperatures when it comes to the heat. On Tuesday, I showed you this map having all the heat advisories and a couple of extreme heat warnings. Looks as though those have started to dissipate. A couple of flood watches in parts of the country on top of that too, but it's been the temperatures that have been really impressive. But take a look at these. This is the heat index, so this kind of takes into account the humidity and the dew point on top of the temperatures. Over in the Boise region, felt like 81 for a majority of the day because of just how dry it was, which is great to see. A little bit warmer in other parts. St. Louis sitting at 92, 94 over in Little Rock and New Orleans earlier this week felt like 102, close to 105 with all the humidity they're experiencing. That heat expected to continue on heading into tomorrow, but something I'm going to pay attention to is where that heat is going. So the very hot in this high pressure ridge, you can kind of see the circle is going to move along in and bring in some very toasty conditions for us. This is going 2 weeks out into August. This is August 9th when we're expecting those temperatures to really start to rise. And so we haven't seen too much when it comes to crazy warm temperatures. But this right here, this is indication of some of those potential record-breaking heats that we've been used to. We saw last year some of the most triple-digit days in the month of July. This year, not so much. It's been what I would say a pretty docile summer up to this point. Only a couple of triple-digit days, maybe a handful, but heading into August, that may start to shift with some very warm conditions on the way. The very hot is still to the east of us, but we could see that activity really start to push on in, heading into the start of the work week next week. We'll just watch out for it. 97 for the northern Treasure Valley. Southern Treasure Valley will be sitting into those mid-90s across the board, expecting some clear conditions on the way. Temperatures into the 80s for McCall and Cascade. 90s expected everywhere else, and Riggins, Idaho, flirting with 100 degrees heading into Friday. Temperatures are going to be fairly warm going into next week, though. Low 80s turning into mid-80s into those high 80s by Tuesday, Wednesday, and that's when we start to see that transition into August. And the Boise region is going to be feeling it as well. 93, 92 heading in to Sunday. 97, love to see that on Monday. I got plans to go floating on the river, but man, it is going to be warm heading into Tuesday and Wednesday. 99 on the way with chances to triple digits, and I'm expecting a very warm start to August as well. We're coming to the close of July, and a heat up is truly going to be on the way as we switch to the next month.
In a rare visit to the Federal Reserve Thursday, President Trump took his challenge to Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell over interest rates in person after weeks of public drama.
Are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates. Other than that, what can I tell you?
The president has made it clear that he's looking to stimulate economic growth with lowering interest rates, but it works a little trickier than that. Basically, the Federal Reserve regulates federal fund rates, and that's directly tied to more short-term debts, credit card APRs, or small business loans, for example. Those longer-term debts, the ones that a lot of Americans are looking to invest in right now, like mortgage rates and mortgage loans and car loans, for example, are influenced by a few other factors. They're really looking at long-term economic output, and that's something the Fed considers as well, but they also have to consider inflation and unemployment. And so there is kind of a playbook when it comes to how they raise and lower the rates, as explained by an economics professor.
The rules go, if inflation's too high, you raise interest rates. If inflation's too low, you lower interest rates. If unemployment is too high, you lower interest rates. If unemployment is too low, that's when you raise interest rates.
President Trump has made it clear that he's looking for a pretty drastic cut, but market analysts say that those types of interest rate drops are more so reserved when the market is facing a lot of issues, when it needs a bigger boost. So something like what we saw in 2008 or during the COVID pandemic. And so when the Federal Reserve Board meets next week, their expectation is that Jerome Powell will continue to hold interest rates where they're at, because they have to consider unemployment. The inflation rates are still working to get that down as well. President Trump's tariffs are also set to take effect at the end of next week, so that's something they're likely to consider. I think it's also worth noting as they determine their opinion, it is voted on the 12 board members of the Federal Reserve, not solely the Federal Reserve chairman. Maura Barrett, Scripps News Group, Chicago.
This Treasure Valley dance team is the first to put Idaho on the hip-hop world map.
We're putting as much as we can into it. We're putting all of our time, our effort. We're practicing both in studio and at home to make sure we're the best that we can be.
I'm your neighborhood reporter, Grinley Clark, with an inside look on how this team is getting ready to take on the World Championship. Idaho's hip-hop scene is making history as a team of teen dancers prepares to compete in the World Championship. I'm your neighborhood reporter, Grinley Clark, here in Meridian, where these talented dancers are getting ready to take the global stage. Meet Haley Ventura, a dancer from Eagle, Idaho, and a proud member of the AF Dance hip-hop trio.
I started off with multiple different styles, like jazz, contemporary, and hip-hop, but hip-hop definitely stuck with me.
As Haley prepares for what she considers the best experience of her life, she's taking it all in, hoping to one day share her love of hip-hop with others, just like she learned growing up.
I see dance as kind of like an outlet of where I can express myself and how I can kind of show who I am without using words.
This exciting opportunity to compete in the World Hip Hop Dance Championship brings together elite dancers from across the globe, offering a platform to showcase their passion and creativity on an international stage.
Our silver medalist from Boise.
From this proud moment in Los Angeles, they now prepare to represent Idaho and the United States in Arizona.
This season has really taught them how to work with each other and how to honestly manage their own motivation and manage their own mindset to achieve something greater.
Austin Fernando, the founder and head coach of AF Dance, shares the pride in their representation.
They're representing the state of Idaho on such a large stage, and just knowing that their hometown and their home area here in the Treasure Valley is rallying behind them, I think will mean a ton for them.
This trio is setting an example for young dancers across Idaho. You can follow their journey and share your support on Instagram at AFDanceFam.
We're putting as much as we can into it. We're putting all of our time, our effort. We're practicing both in studio and at home to make sure we're the best that we can be going to Arizona.
We're going! What are we? Who are we?
The team will be leaving Boise for Phoenix, Arizona on the 26th, and the competition starts on the 27th. Reporting in Meridian, I'm your neighborhood reporter, Greenlee Clark, for Idaho News 6.
It was honestly quite nerve-wracking.
I'm your Caldwell neighborhood reporter Leslie Solis at the Kane County Fair, where livestock exhibitors are taking the stage in hopes to win Grand Champion.
Allergy Report is brought to you by Boise Valley Asthma and Allergy Clinic.
I don't know about you, but for me, and especially my nose this time of year, I'm enjoying the Allergy Report. Very low, sitting into the low category at 13. Grass, quinopod, and pine holding strong, but only minimally, so go out and enjoy the wonderful conditions.
It's showtime here at the Kane County Fair. I'm your Caldwell neighborhood reporter Leslie Solis, and many 4-H and FFA exhibitors showcase their animals in hopes to win Grand Champion after months of hard work. The Kane County Fair is in full swing with livestock exhibitors showing off their animals in hard work.
It was honestly quite nerve-wracking.
Exhibitors and their animals face tough judges after months of dedication and determination.
It's a lot of work, but it pays off.
I'm a true believer that animal agriculture is one of the greatest industries in the world.
Livestock judge Hadley Shoddy says picking just one winner is challenging because of the remarkable quality each exhibitor brings.
Organizations like 4-H and FFA and other junior livestock organizations, they're producing some of the highest quality people in the world as well, year in and year out.
While each animal show has different criteria, everyone shares the same goal, to be grand champion. For Emma Tucker, her win meant something special.
Oh my God, I wanted to cry.
Tucker won with her hog after participating in numerous shows and is grateful for placing high at the fair.
It's so much effort. I mean, I've been starting him since he was 43 pounds, and now he's 236 pounds. I mean, that's a lot of progress. I've gone through every little span with him.
Tucker hopes to become a veterinarian and continue competing in shows. For senior Audrey Millsap of the Middleton Wranglers, winning grand champion with her steer is a memory she'll always cherish.
I'm super excited because it's my senior year, so it'll be my last year. So I just get to leave, and I'm like, hey, I won that.
As she says goodbye to livestock shows, Millsap reflects on the valuable lessons she's learned as she prepares for her next chapter.
And I'm going to head off to college and study speech and language pathology.
Realizing that the food that they're producing is going to feed the world for years to come, I think that's an absolutely awesome thing that more people need to realize.
If you want to see more livestock exhibitors get awarded, shows will be going on all week until Sunday, as Grand Fair champion will be announced. I'm your Caldwell neighborhood reporter Leslie Solis for Idaho News 6.
Now we'll look outside from the Treasure Valley Chevy Dealers Tower Cam.
A final look going into Friday. Conditions very reminiscent to Thursday. 95 is on the way with those clear skies expected. The warmest, though, that's going to be saved for the work week. 93, 92 over the weekend. 97 triple digits potentially for Tuesday and Wednesday. It is going to be very, very toasty. So watch out. The work week is going to be a warm one, and we'll pay attention to the conditions heading into August as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on Idaho News 6. Sophia Cruz will have the latest on your forecast tomorrow on Good Morning Idaho. See you there.